The price of Bitcoin is really having a tough time to get above $65,000. Now, we are in this uptrend and we're trying to push through this huge, massive resistance zone that, if broken successfully, without a doubt, we're going to go to much higher levels. But this is really a local topping point, and I will explain why in today's episode. Now, as you can see throughout the last few hours, very early this morning, we did have an attempt in breaking out through the Monday highs, creating that swing failure pattern. Now, swing failure patterns are always a great opportunity to jump into a short position as you test the highs and get the rejection. Now, we are just holding some really nice crucial support zone, which is the value area high from the entire range that we formed throughout the last few days. In this episode, we are going to go through the technical levels, okay? Because if we do lose this support, I do see a little bit of weakness and potentially coming down finally to claim that liquidity that is beneath $62,000. However, what if the price manages to find support here? We do create another higher low and we continue to the upside. Well, we still need to focus on the levels of resistance that we do have, because we are getting these pullbacks as we do test the highs. We already got a drop of over $1,000 when we rejected from Monday highs, which is always a great trading opportunity. They are very, very simple strategies. You just need to wait for the exact moment to execute that trade. Of course, right now, is this a good zone to long? Well, as we already tested the highs from Monday, it gives not too many reasons for the price to retest the highs, right? So it's going to be very complex to realize where there could be a good long opportunity right now in this pullback without claiming these lows right over here where there is a lot of liquidity. So it's getting even more dangerous here as we try to break the highs to get into a long position on these retracement moves. But we'll be talking about some long and short setups throughout this episode, guys. Quick reminder, the World Series of Trading is starting in October. Now, registration will start from the 1st of October, and I want you to join my team. If you haven't got a Bybit account, make sure to create one with the link down below in the description, where you have up to $30,000 deposit bonus, and be ready to join my team in October. If you can't trade on Bybit, there's a great no KYC platform with 10% cash back from your initial deposit. That is bluffing, of course. Just with an email and a password, you can start trading in minutes. Let's dive in here through the Bitcoin technical analysis, keeping it simple and easy for the viewer. We are in a very strong uptrend throughout the last few weeks. However, now we are struggling very much at this higher time frame level of resistance. When we go and take a look at the daily time frame on the price of Bitcoin and take a look at the Fibonacci retracement from all-time high to the low of the range created here in August, we did get rejection from that golden pocket right over here in August, as you can see. Now, this is the zone where we are struggling very much to get that nice breakout, right? We're just hitting 64K, trying to get 65K, and we are getting these small little rejections. So it is a tough nut to crack here for Bitcoin. We got a heavy rejection here back in August of several $1,000s as we did hit the golden pocket from the entire move to the downside of the last few months. So when we zoom in on the lower time frames, now we can see already 3 peaks here. Now, this is very, very disturbing, right? You're trying to break out from the highs. You're just getting liquidity grabs from all of those early short positions, predicting here that the price might be topping out. And without a doubt, where you want to short is just when you test the highs, in this case on the higher time frame. If you test the highs, it's a good short position. If you would have got into a short here, this is a successful move down of over $1,000. If you would have shorted here, we've already dropped over $1,000 as well. So only short at the levels of resistance when you're very much uptrending and not trying to predict that the price is going to roll over. Now, I missed this short position. This was very early this morning, but if I would have been in front of the chart, I would have had an attempt here for a double top, just because your stop loss is extremely small above the highs as you do get the rejection. So I'm going to remain patient for any short. There's no way I would short right now here on this retracement. Hey, we are in bullish market structure throughout the last few days and weeks. So shorting right now would be a bad decision. It is pretty late and we're actually hitting some interesting supporting levels. However, I'm not that interested in longing this very, very small pullback, just because we have tested the highs from Monday. Now, when you test a high, it is already kind of finished business, right? We've already tested the high and we rejected. So why would there be another reason here to get back up to the high with this very shallow pullback? It is without a doubt a risky long and also a very risky short as you're in uptrend momentum. So the higher time frame levels do remain the same, guys. It's a matter of being patient and waiting for the perfect opportunity. What level is that, of course? Well, we do have the 7/8 Fibonacci from the highs here of July to the lows of August. That level has not been tested and would be actually testing a higher time frame level high that has not been tested just yet throughout the last few days. Yes, that is the $65,000. Without a doubt, it could pump $500, $1,000 above these highs and then get the failed auction, get the failed breakout, and then get that decent pullback potentially to the lows of the range here, because there is a lot of liquidity sitting here below $62,200. There is a couple of $1 billion just round about the $62,000 range, as you can see on the chart. Without a doubt, we still have quite a lot of liquidity above 65K. So it would be nice to actually get a little bit more of a powerful move to the upside, in my opinion, if you are looking for that swing trade short where it can bring the price, $3,000, even $4,000 to the downside in a corrective move. Now, we'll be talking about the best higher time frame longing zone, okay, for a nice swing trade, because a swing long position right now at the highs, yeah, it's kind of not the best scenario, isn't it? So overall, the level of resistance, without a doubt, is the highs here from August, right over here at $65,000. The 7/8 Fibonacci sitting at 65,500. And we also have a daily level that has not been tapped, okay? So a daily level here is also crucial level of resistance. This is your guideline to speculate in a potential short. Just like a higher time frame high, just like a lower time frame high, that is your guideline that if you do get the price above and reject, that is when you need to be in front of the chart, snipe a short, and your stop loss is at the highs, basically, right? So this is the same scenario. You got the daily, you got the 7/8, looking for one of these two levels to actually get the reaction. If the price does blast through, there is nothing you can do. There is no short trade to be taken. Now that daily is very close to the 7/8. So one of these two pivots are the ones that are going to give you that guidance of getting into the short, just like we did right over here. You get above it, no short. You start getting below it, that's when you trigger the short. So if you do get the price hitting the level daily and you reject, that is when you quickly need to trigger that short position with stop above the high. And this could bring you a pretty decent pullback down. And you could start being quite defensive with your stop loss as you get the movement down to minimize those losses, or basically just pay a little bit of fees and be protective. But this trade, without a doubt, could bring that sweep of the lows from the last few days. This is a great target zone. It's a classic zone where liquidity is being built, and we can actually see the liquidity on the heat map. So this is not something that you cannot lie about. There is billions of dollars already building up at the $62,000 range, which is the lows from the weekend. So without a doubt, these technical levels can be traded, but just like some beginner traders, they'll be like, well, what if we do drop from here? Well, then I have to say that you've missed the short position. Shorting from here is absolutely insane, because your stop loss, where is it? At the highs? Is it going to be here? We do not know if the price is going to find support and then suddenly blast through all of the levels. So you'll be in a major loss. You just need to wait for the exact technical levels, in this case, the daily and the 7/8, to be hit and start getting the rejection, so you can get into a responsible trading setup and looking for a pretty nice move down. And I would be even targeting the lows from the last few days. So enough about talking about short positions. We are in an uptrend. We are going up. Let's talk about longs as well. Absolutely yes. Well, something disturbing is when you do test a high, all right, when you're in an uptrend and you finally test some highs, right? In this case, on Bybit, we did not test the highs. It doesn't give you a great reason to look for a long position on a small pullback. And the main reason why is because the highs have been tested, right? If you create a high and you're pulling back, well, without a doubt, your target is the high. But once you claim that high and you're pulling back, it is very difficult to look for a short pullback here and get into a long position, just because the highs have already been claimed and it's finished business. In my opinion, I would be looking for some higher lows potentially to be tested after claiming a high. And this is the danger that we have right now. Without a doubt, the price could bounce, especially as we do have the value area high trying to maintain our support here very strongly, as you can see on the chart, right? So we're trying to maintain support from the value area high of the entire range of the last week. So yeah, without a doubt, we could bounce here, but for me, this is not a great attractive long position. Just purely based on stop loss, could you have an attempt putting stop loss here inside of the range and you're targeting the highs to be hit again, potentially in between today and tomorrow? I mean, you could, but if you do lose this level, okay, just be happy to get stopped out, because if you do get back inside of the range, it will likely be a sign of weakness and you could be coming all the way down if the price starts dropping down very aggressively with volume. Without a doubt, I would just say, okay, it is time potentially now, as we've lost the value of this entire range, to finally sweep up the lows from the last few days, okay? So not a great zone, in my opinion, to look for longs right now. And there's one big major reason why. The highs from Monday have already been tested. And it's very hard right now with these three peaks. It looks like a kind of a triple top scenario. We are losing the momentum of creating very explosive higher highs. When you start creating slightly higher highs, it's just not too attractive to get into a long position on a small little pullback, even though we are at support. I mean, you can manage risk, but I am not interested right now to get into a long position in this zone unless I find some scalping opportunities on the lower time frame, basically moves of a few $100s in the Legends trading community. Now, we break down from here. We get acceptance back of inside of the value area of the last 5 to 6 days, right? Approximately. This was from last Thursday. So yeah, give or take 5 or 6 days from this range. We do have a daily level here with the point of control. It's very close. Could we just form another higher low? Yeah, without a doubt, this is a zone where we could get a little bit of support. However, it's going to be very difficult. If we do see proof of support, and if I do see this here with the Legends trading community, we do get a large reaction. We're bouncing. I think we could be getting some strong resistance coming to lower levels. But if we start building bullish CVD divergence, changing a little bit of internal market structure here, then yeah, without a doubt, if we do reclaim back above the value area high, well, this for me would be already a sign of strength. And I wouldn't mind jumping into long positions here late, but I know that that would be a sign of strength that the bears could not manage to push the price to lower levels, and I wouldn't care to get into a long position a little late, but that would be a clear sign of strength, and I would be analyzing very, very carefully that reclaim of this massive level of resistance if we do get this breakdown. So on the other side, the trades as a swing long position still remain the same. It's not going to be easy. We do have the higher low support, right, from this ascending channel. It would be absolutely golden to sweep up the lows from the last few days. There is an aggressive swing failure pattern long, okay, and that is getting from, basically testing the lows from last Friday, which is sitting at $62,300 approximately. Now, I have to say, if the price does break down, which does look like it is about time to do so, right, we need kind of that pullback. If it does break down to this level in between today and tomorrow, yeah, without a doubt, this is going to be a very, very difficult zone, okay, to suddenly jump in a long position. We could be forming that Bart Simpson pattern, right, where we just get a waterfall and we suddenly collapse a few $1,000s. This is very tricky, guys. When you get a nice uptrend and you're ranging and you test the highs and you start correcting down, we just need to be aware of the big pullback down. This is not going to be an easy long position. There is a potential scalp long without a doubt where you could bounce a few $100s, and I would be willing to get into a quick long scalp from that level. That is the lows from Friday. You could just get a big massive wick down to that level and an instant reaction bounce of several $100s where you can benefit from that move. But I would be a little bit skeptical, okay, in getting into a long position after the bounce. We're very likely going to get a pullback. This is something that we are going to be analyzing very, very carefully. See if we can backtest the lows here from the weekend, right? We've got some crucial pivot lows. Could we get a massive instant recovery and come back down and backtest this zone, form bullish CVD divergence, get a lot of people shorting the market in the dump, shorting late the drop that we've had throughout the next coming hours if this were to be the case. So it's going to be a little bit of analyzing very carefully the levels and different scenarios. But if we do get that liquidity grab beneath 62,200, right, drop a few $100s beneath the level, get a reaction bounce, this is a quick instant scalp, then the retracement for that swing long position is going to be analyzed very, very carefully, because if this were to be the bottom, then obviously we're looking for a first wave 1, wave 2, and we would be speculating on that wave 3, okay? Get into that large wave 3 if we do see that proof of support. A little bit of the same story of the last few days, guys. Internally, it does look like a little bit weak because we're just testing the high. We've got a bit of a triple top situation here, which is not looking too great to suddenly jump into a long position right now where we're currently at. I would remain patient from higher time frame to hit this zone of interest or hit the lows right over here and then analyze very carefully, because if we do start breaking down the channel, guys, there is no quick long position to take here. When there's panic and when there's a sell-off, it moves down much faster than it goes to the upside, okay? The drops are usually more aggressive and it's not going to be easy to analyze this zone, okay? We need some proof of support to then look for that potential long position. Not much more has to be said in this episode, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We usually do live streams throughout the week. Very likely I'll be doing a live stream later on this evening where we're going to go through different scenarios, altcoins, education, and a lot more. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.